Hi, this is Ricky Ma. I'm a lecturer on financial management subjects, including FLI and P4 in Hong Kong and China. Apart from teaching, I'm also a financial consultant to help my clients carry out merger and acquisition projects, funding arrangement, capital restructuring, etc. Today, I would like to have a brief overview of Paper P4 in 2014. What are we going to talk about on P4? First of all, what does it require? Let's look at the expectations of the examiner later. To be more specific, which topics are included in the syllabus? Then, what does the paper look like? That means the paper structure. Now, your main concern, the hot exam topics. We will analyze the trend of the past exam papers to highlight the most popular areas. If this is not your first attempt, do you know what's wrong with you? Let me tell you later. Okay, finally, if you want improvement to secure a pass in your coming exam, what should you do? Whenever we are going to perform a task, we had better know what we are expected to do at the very first beginning. Do you agree? So, what does P4 expect? In fact, it's an advancement of paper FLI. That means you are assumed to have all the basic knowledge under FLI, even though some of you are exempted to take this paper. No matter what, please take a look to the syllabus of FLI again, or listen to my another presentation on the FLI review. For P4, you are assumed to be a senior financial executive or financial advisor. In other words, you are promoted from the position of finance manager as in FLI to a CFO now. So, are you happy? But you can imagine that there may be a much higher job requirements from now on. You are required to demonstrate an integrated knowledge of the subject and relate them to specific issues. The main difference between P4 and FLI is that the question may not only relate to one specific topic, but always more than one. In particular, you are not told what you should do. Instead, you should analyze the question yourself and consider the most appropriate method to be applied. Emphasize on application, but not reproduction of the knowledge. The questions may be more dynamic, less specific. For P4, therefore, understanding is more important than memorizing. Another point for P4 is you will be required to present the answers in a formal way. For example, in form of a report, a memorandum, etc. You will be given 4 professional marks accordingly, usually in Section 8, the compulsory question. Regarding the P4 syllabus, I have separated into 2 parts. One is the core areas, and the other one is the environment. Do you see the topics surrounded by a red line? These are the core areas, which cover most of the technical skills required. That is, Section C, investment appraisal. In addition to the traditional appraisal methods we have learned before, like NPV, IRR, we should also understand new methods, including APV, MIRR, wheel options, etc. And for Section D, acquisitions and mergers. In this section, the most common questions we'll see in the exam is like, why should we carry out M&A? How could we do it? What should be the best price for either a buyer or seller, etc. And for Section E, corporate reconstruction. Why do we need reconstruction? How to do it? What will be the impact on the shareholders and creditors? In Section F, risk management, is more advanced than before. Many students will find it very hard to understand the technical concepts in particular of hedging and various financial derivatives, etc. But be careful, there must be one question on this topic. The outer part of the syllabus, I would say that, is the environment, which affects the selection of our recommended solution, including the concept of different stakeholders, the economic environment, and various emerging issues. What is the exam format of P4? This is a 3-hour paper divided into 2 sections. Section A, 1 question only, with 50 marks, including 4 professional marks on your presentation. This question is compulsory. Normally, it covers 1 to 2 technical topics within the core areas of the syllabus. Under a hypothetical case, normally, you are required to analyze the case in detail, identify the problem issues, and recommend the most appropriate solutions. You should use adequate financial data to support your arguments and your recommendations. It's very time-consuming indeed. You must watch the clock and make sure not run out of time. In section B, you have a choice, 2 out of 3 shorter questions, each of 25 marks. Usually, they cover a single topic, both computational and discursive. Someone asked me whether they should answer section A or section B first. My reply is, it all depends. If you find confident to do any one of the section B questions, why not do it first? It may build up your confidence and may be helpful for your performance on the remaining part of the exam. Well, I guess most of you are interested in the hot exam topics. Let's look at the past 5 exam papers and pay particular attention to the marks allocation. First of all, you will find that nearly all topics in the syllabus were covered in the exam, so don't skip anyone in your study, I suggest. In between the core areas in red color shared large proportion of the marks, in particular, investment appraisal, M&A, and risk management. Now I think you should know which parts of the syllabus you should focus on. Let me tell you a story. I met a student before. He told me that he took P4 for 3 times, but still failed. He said he worked very hard, at least he believed. And he said he read through all study materials before the exam. He asked me why he still failed. I told him that he must find the reasons. Otherwise, if he just repeats the same process, he will get the same results. He needs change. I mean, his study approach. The most common reason of failure is lack of sufficient knowledge. Many students may think that once they finish the reading, they have got the knowledge they need. It's absolutely wrong. Understanding is more important, in particular for P4. Make sure you understand it, not just read it. Without sufficient understanding, you are not able to apply the relevant knowledge to solve the given problem. You may know it, but you don't know how to use it. That's the key. Some of you may have misunderstood the question and then answer it in the wrong way. In this case, the theories provided by you in the answer are correct, but they are not what we need, so poor. Another issue is your presentation skill. You did not structure your answers properly, and therefore it's not easy for the examiner to understand what you mean. Clear and legible handwriting can certainly help. I came across an answer book in which I could not recognize even a word. How could I give marks? Time management. Good time management is to ensure the completion of the whole paper is very critical. In P4, almost all questions are scenario-based. How can we handle this type of question properly? First of all, make sure you fully understand the question. Read it through more than once. Then identify various issues inside the case. For example, it may be a potential investment project, a proposed M&A transaction, or under economic downturn, etc. Next, what are the problems? For instance, how could we consider an investment project with real options? Is it better use futures contract instead of trader options for hedging? All these are the practical problems that you will see in the exam. Subsequently, you should try to analyze and, if possible, quantify the different issues and propose alternative solutions with an evaluation of the financial impacts. As a conclusion of your report, you should recommend the most appropriate action that should be taken together with your reasons behind. Here are my advices to your study plan. First of all, study the whole syllabus with good understanding. Try to understand every detail. Secondly, sharpen your exam skills. How? Doing more exercise, preferably under exam condition. That is, keep the time of your work like a real exam. It does help. People always say that financial management is a computational subject. I don't think so. Although computations are essential, interpretation of the financial figures is more important, especially for P4. Therefore, you should balance your efforts on both computational and discursive questions. Good time management for exam is always true. Finally, work hard is necessary. Be confident as well. What I mean is, you should not think about any negative issues such as, I will try next time. Okay, just go for it. That's the end of my presentation. Good luck to you all in the coming exam. Goodbye.